So yung topic natin for today is about evolution. So ito yung last topic natin for our fourth mastery exam. Okay, so what is evolution? Evolution is a process by which new species originated from pre-existing species. So ano ba ibig sabihin natin ng species po? So pag sinabi nating species, ito yung group of interbreeding natural population that are reproductively isolated from other such group. So ibig sabihin, dumadami sila. So pag ang nangyayari is nagkakaroon ng exchange at doon sa exchange na yon is possible na magkaroon ng change. So papaano natin malalaman kung yung evolution is nangyari nga? So evolution has taken place if the genetic mechanism has been changed. So ayun na nga. So yung genes. So yung genes na ipinapasa from interbreeding organisms nabago. So, kumbaga, alam natin na may nag-propose nitong evolution na to, si Charles Darwin. So, an English naturalist proposed an entirely different mechanism to account for the evolution of species. So, meron siyang mga theory na kung saan sinasabi na nagkaroon ng evolution. So, yung una is yung species overproduction. So, pag sinabi natin species overproduction, organism tends to over-reproduce. So, pagka nagkaroon tayo ng over-reproduction, nagkakaroon tayo or dumadami yung alin, yung population or yung species, dumadami yung species natin, nagkakaroon tayo ng big population. At dahil dyan, yung kasunod na theory ni Charles Darwin, which is yung competition, na kung saan it is a struggle for existence and the survival of the fittest happens in this big population. So, syempre, dahil lumalaki yung population, nagkakaroon sila ng, kumbaga, pinag-aawayan nila yung mga sources ng food, ng place, okay, or ng space. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng competition. And then, yung pangatlo is yung speciation. Speciation is favorable adaptations gradually accumulate in the species and unfavorable ones disappear. So, kumbaga, kung sino yung connected to dun sa natural selection natin na kung saan yung fittest is yung mas napapaboran. So, ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon tayo ng selection na kung saan yung species na mas nakaka-adapt dun sa lugar, yung mag-accumulate, yung dadami compare dun sa hindi nakaka-adapt. And then, yung pang-apat, so adaptation na nga. So, any kind of inherited trait that improves an organism's chances of survival and reproduction. So, ito yung, kung naalala nyo, one characteristic of the living things is they produce traits that can help them survive. So, ito yung traits na to, ito yung na-adapt nila para maka-survive sila. And then, syempre, yung natural selection is the environment selects the organism that survive to be the parents of the succeeding generation. So, nasa lugar na mismo, kumbaga, connected itong mga theory na to sa isa't isa na kung saan, kung halimbawa ang pinag-aralan kasi ni Darwin is yung mga finches na ibon yan, birds, okay? Na kung saan nagkaroon ng changes or nagkaroon ng natural selection dahil dun sa build ng beak nila. Okay? So, merong beak na ang kinakain is mga nuts. Merong beak na ang kinakain is mga worms. So, doon pa lang magkakaroon na ng natural selection. So, kapag yung beak mo is hindi either dito sa dalawa, mamamatay ka. Okay? So, syempre, ayan na nga. So, ay na yung number 6 na kung saan merong differences or variation. So, great variability within the population or organisms. No, two individuals are the same. So, sa tao din, ganyan tayo. Meron tayong variation. So, every one is unique. Kaya hindi nyo pwedeng ipilit sa kanila or kung ano man yung tingin nyo doon sa isang tao, is ganun din yung tingin, magiging tingin ng isa. Hindi nyo pwedeng sabihin dahil kanya-kanya tayo ng perception at kanya-kanya tayo ng characteristic. So, meron tayong yung nabanggit natin last time dun sa Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is yung 4 evolutionary forces natin. So, yung 4 evolutionary forces natin na kung saan ito yung nagkukos ng change. So, yung una natin is mutation. So, pag sinabi natin mutation, so change in DNA. So, kapag evolutionary, laging merong change. Okay? Saan? Sa DNA. Okay, so syempre, alam natin na yung DNA is yung blueprint. Blueprint. Okay, nung program natin. So, syempre, kapag nagkaroon ng change dito sa DNA, mababago yung species, yung DNA ng species. And then, kung paano sila magbibehave, kung ano yung itsura nila, tapos yung physiology, etc. And then, yung pangalawa is yung gene flow. Ito. So, yung gene flow is the movement of allele from one population. Kaya kung makikita nyo dito, so ito, so movement. So, itong color brown beetle is nagpunta dito sa color green. Yan. So, nagkaroon ng movement nung alin? Nung allele. Movement ng allele. At yung movement ng allele na yon, yun yung magkukos ng change. So, halimbawa, yung mga pollen. So, yung mga pollen, syempre, nadadala ng hangin. So, pag nadala ng hangin, tapos napunta siya sa halimbawa sa lugar na kung saan wala yung gene na yon or yung alleles na yon dun sa lugar na yon, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng movement. And then, yung pangatlo is yung genetic drift. So, ano ba yung genetic drift? So, sa genetic drift, in each generation, some individuals may just by chance leave behind a few more descendants na kung saan yung genes na yon or yung genes for the next generation will be the genes of the lucky individuals, not necessarily the healthier or better individual. So parang halimbawa natin, ito nga. So ito yung chance na sinasabi natin. So dito sa ano natin is merong kulay green na beetle at merong brown na beetle. Ngayon, yung chance event, ang nangyari is naapakan yung color green. So, ang nangyari, ang naiwan na lang is yung color brown beetle. So, kumbaga, ito yung naging lucky. Okay? And then, yung pang-apat is yung natural selection. Okay? So, mayroon tayong mga possible na factors dun sa natural selection. So, kagaya nito. So, dito sa example natin, meron tayong predator. Okay, na kung saan ang prey is yung mga beetle. So, syempre, kung ang kinakain nitong predator na to is yung color green na beetle, ibig sabihin, mas mauubos yung color green na beetle compared dun sa brown. So, ibig sabihin, ang magsusurvive is yung color brown. Okay? So, yan. And then, syempre, meron tayong modes of speciation, yung binanggit natin kanina. Connected na din to dun sa natural selection. So, meron tayong tatlo, yung allopatric speciation or geographic speciation. And then, yung pangalawa is sympatric speciation. And then, yung pangatlo is parapatric speciation. So, pag sinabi nating allopatric, allo means other. Patrick means place. Okay? So, yan. So, ibig sabihin, it occurs when some members of a population become geographically separated from the other members, thereby preventing gene flow. So, parang kagaya nitong nasa picture, na kung saan nagkaroon ng, ang tawag dito, ng river. So, ang nangyari is, nagkaroon tayo ng dalawang species. And then, yung sympatric speciation. So, pag sinabi natin sim, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay same. Okay, so same place. Speciation. So, dito makikita nyo, same place pa din. Pero ano nangyari? So, ang nangyari, ang nangyari is do sa member ng population that initially occupy the same habitat within the same range diverge into two or more different species. So, kumbaga, nagkakaroon to ng abrupt genetic change. So, same place, pero nagkakaroon ng abrupt genetic change. Kaya kung makikita nyo, nagkaroon ng ibang species dito sa anong tawag dito, sa mga puno na to. Okay, so dito din papasok sa sympatric speciation, yung tinatawag nating polyploidization. Okay, and then, yung pangatlo is yung parapatric speciation. So, pag sinabi natin para, ibig sabihin nito ay beside. Okay, beside. And then, place. So, beside each other. So, it occurs when the group that evolved to be separated species are geographic neighbors. So, nagkakaroon yan ng gene flow. Okay? But with great distance, it is reduced. So, therefore, there is also, dito sa parapatric, nagkakaroon din ng abrupt genetic change in the environment or geographic border, and strong disruptive selection must happen. So, kumbaga, nagkakaroon ng selection. So, yan yung parapatric speciation. So, pag tignan nyo, ganito yung itsura nila. So, dun sa allopatric, meron tayong itong, ang tawag dito, geographic. And ito, yung nagkaroon ng abrupt change dito. And then, parapatric is merong, kumbaga, mix nung ano. So, meron tayong mga, yung sa environment at nagkakaroon ng genetic change. So, yung sa allopatric, itong tawag dito sa geographic geographic barrier. So, meron tayong different geographic barrier. So, pwede tayong merong water, habitat, topographic, tapos competition. Ayan. So, ayan yung apat na allopatric speciation natin. Okay? So, dito sa mga speciation na to, syempre, dahil yung species ay interbreed, so meron tayong tinatawag na reproductive isolating mechanism. So yung dalawa siya, yung prezygotic at postzygotic isolation mechanism. So pag sinabi nating prezygotic, so it prevents fertilization and zygote formation, kaya nga siya prezygotic isolation. Kapag naman sinabi nating postzygotic isolation, nangyari na yung fertilization at saka yung zygote formation, pero meron pa ding kumbaga isolating mechanism. So dun sa prezygotic isolation mechanism, yung una natin is yung geographic or ecological or habitat isolation. So pag sinabi nating geographic or ecological or habitat isolation, potential mates occupy different area or habitats, thus they never come in contact. So kumbaga sabihin natin halimbawa, yung isang frog ay nasa lupa, tapos yung isang frog ay nasa water. So dahil dyan, hindi sila mag-meet. So isolation, habitat isolation. And then, temporal or seasonal isolation. So, pag sinabi natin temporal or seasonal isolation, ito naman yung different groups may not be reproductively mature at the same season. So, di ba meron tayong mga season, 4 seasons na kung saan hindi magkasabay ng time yung pag-mature ng mga organism kaya nagkakaroon ng isolation. And then yung number 3 is yung behavioral isolation. Dito sa behavioral isolation, patterns of courtship are different. So kumbaga, halimbawa, sa ibon, okay, sa birds, magkamukha yung birds pero yung song nila or yung kanta nila or yung tweet nila is different. So dahil doon, hindi sila magiging compatible. So meron tayong isolation. And then yung pang-apat is mechanical isolation. So differences in reproductive organs prevent successful interbreeding. So syempre, kapag hindi compatible yung reproductive organs, hindi magkakaroon ng interbreeding. And then, gametic isolation naman is incompatibilities between egg and sperm prevent fertilization. So, syempre, kumbaga, doon na mismo sa egg cell and sperm cell, merong incompatibility. Incompatibility. Ayan. And then, yung post-zygotic isolation, so, yung una natin is hybrid inviability. So, pag sinabi nating hybrid inviability, so, syempre, nagkaroon ng fertilization dito. So, pag sinabi nating hybrid inviability, fertilized egg fails to develop past the early embryonic stages. So, inviable. Hindi siya nagde-develop. Okay? Hindi siya nagde-develop. And then yung hybrid sterility. So pag sinabi nating hybrid sterility, hybrids are sterile because gonads develop abnormally or there is abnormal segregation of chromosomes during meiosis. So na yung mga gonads natin, gonads develop abnormally. And then, yung hybrid breakdown. So, dito sa hybrid breakdown, so kung maalala nyo yung diniscuss natin, so yung F1 ay normal, tapos yung F2 yung weak. So, kapag ganyan, hindi rin mapubuo. Okay? So, ayan. So, ayan po yung reproductive isolating mechanism natin. And then, meron tayong, syempre, mga evidences of evolution. So, evidences of evolution. So, the scientific theory of evolution is supported by fossil record, comparative anatomy, comparative embryology, biogeography, molecular biology, and observe evolutionary change. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga titignan natin na evidences na meron nga daw nangyaring evolution. So, yung una is yung fossil record. So, alam natin kung ano yung fossil. So, living remains of one's living. Okay, so meron pa nga tayong mga types of fossil. Okay, na kung saan ito yung tinitignan ng mga paleontologists or zoologists para ma-identify yung mga extinct animal species na kung saan sinasabi nila na nagkaroon ng path of evolution dahil nagkaroon ng stages of development. So from ancestral organism, kumbaga nanggaling daw sa kanya yung ibang species na kung saan nag-give rise dun sa other species. So yan. And then, dahil doon, so syempre, yung mga fossil na yun yung tinitignan nila, na-compare nila yung mga anatomy. Okay, so yung una is yung homologous structures na kung saan similar features found in different species that are derived come from a common ancestor. So, ang example natin yan, so, kumbaga, meron siyang same set of bones, okay, that evolved from a common ancestor, pero nagkaroon ng different function. So, example natin is itong forelimbs of human, cat, whale, and bat. So, ito yan. So, syempre, yung sa human, alam natin kung, so, ito yung forearm, ha? So, ayan. So, kumbaga, different structure. Ayan. So, kumbaga, may yung same structure, same. Yung kumbaga, ang nangyari is, wait lang. Ayan. So, pare-pareha sila nung structure. Okay? Same set of bones. So, pare-pareha sila. So, meron tayong humerus, meron din siyang humerus, merong humerus. Okay? So, same structure, different function. Different. Ayan. So, meron ding radius ulna. Ito yung radius ulna. And then, yung carpals natin. Ito, ayan. Tapos, ito, and then, ito. Pero, syempre, iba-iba sila ng gamit. So, ito pang swimming, ito pang lipad, ito pang ayan, tsaka sakat. So, kumbaga, ayan siya. So, yung makikita natin, meron tayong, sa bawat isa is merong penductility. So, yung 5 yung daliri. And then, yung pangalawa sa comparative anatomy is yung analogous structure. So, yung analogous structure serve the same function between organisms but are different in internal anatomy. So, ito naman yung opposite nung homologous structure. So, example natin is wings of birds and butterfly. So, pag tinignan nyo, ayan, so, bat wing, bird wing, insect wing. So, syempre, sa bird wing natin, alam natin na nandito yung bone. Pero dito sa insect natin is hindi ito yung nagsiserve as kamay at paa ng kamay niya. So kumbaga, dito sa birds at saka sa bat, ito yung forearm. Pero dito sa wings, alam natin na meron siyang sarili niyang feet. And then, yung isa pa is yung vestigial organ. These organs are usually dwarf and useless to the organism. So example of these are the human appendix, which is useless in humans but in other mammals it is necessary for digestion. So yung appendix natin, so asan ba yung appendix ito? So ayan. So ang sabi is wala daw yan function. Pero sa ngayon, ang sabi is ito daw yung source ng good bacteria para sa colon natin. Pero so lumiit 'yan sa human, okay? Pero sa mga rabbits, ito ay ginagamit nila for digestion. So yung appendix na 'yan. So kaya siya tinawag na vestigial organ. And then, yung kasunod is embryological development. So, pag sinabi natin embryological development, incredible similarities in embryo. So, magkakamukha daw yung embryo of different species. Dahil, sabi is galing sila sa common ancestor. So, example natin, ito. Ayan. So, pag tinignan nyo, halos magkakamukha naman yung yung embryo ng fish, ng salamander, ng tortoise, ng chicken, ng pig, ng cow, ng rabbit, ng human. And then, nagkakaroon ng change kapag nandito na sa pagiging adult. So, doon sa last month ng last month or last days nung mga kung saan magiging ilalabas na sila. So, ayan yung sa embryological development. So, study of the development of an organism from an embryo to its adult form. Na kung saan, dito sa unang part, merong common structure. Dito sa pangalawa is medyo nagkaroon na ng difference. And then, hanggang sa magkaroon na ng change or nagkaroon na ng differences dun sa last. And then, syempre, genetics. So, sa genetics, all living cells use information coded in DNA and RNA to carry information from one generation to the next and to direct protein synthesis. So, syempre, meron daw similarity in the genetic code na kung saan isang powerful evidence siya na nanggaling daw sa isang common ancestor. Which, itong genetic code na sinasabi na to is identical in almost all organism. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nanggaling daw sa common ancestor na nag-evolve na lang. Okay? So, ang evidence is itong sequence of amino acid in part of the hemoglobin molecule. So, ayan. So, meron tayong lysine, glutamine, his, and iso. Ayan. So, kumbaga, present yung alin? Yung lysine, histag, gluta. Ayan. So, nagkakaroon ng same sequence. Okay? So, this compares a small proportion of the DNA for the same gene in 3 animals. So, example is a mouse, a whale, and a chicken. So, sinasabi na yung sa atin, ang kagaya daw ng ano natin is yung mga chimpanzee. So, 98% ng DNA ng chimpanzee ay kagaya ng sa human. So since the sequencing of the chimpanzee and human genomes, this figure has been revised down to 96%. So syempre, habang tumatagal is nagkakaroon ng evolution din sa mga technology. Okay? Yan. So mas nagiging accurate. Okay? So nabawasan ng ang tawag yun, ng percentage na kagaya daw natin yung DNA ng chimpanzee. And then, yung biogeography. Okay, so yung biogeography is the study of geographical distribution of fossils and living organisms. And then, organisms usually arise in areas where similar forms already exist. So, kumbaga, sinasabi natin na kung saan, pero syempre, pwede rin makita dun sa different place yung mga organism natin na kung saan magkakamag-anak. Dahil kung maalala nyo sa earth science natin, ang sinasabi is, di ba nga, yung Pangea is, magkakadikit daw yung, yung mga continents na kung saan, kapag tinignan nyo, dito, itong part na to, andyan yung fossil nung, itong Cyanoguatus. Okay, so kumbaga, syempre kung naghiwalay, so makikita natin na ito siya. Yung South America is makikita nyo din dito dahil nandito yung kaka-connect niya. Ayan. So kumbaga sinasabi na dahil na nagkahiwalay yung mga natin, yung mga continent natin, doon na nagkaroon din ng change. Okay? So, yun lang po. May tanong?